Hello divas, dudes, and dolls, I'm Kira Couture, and welcome back to another episode of my double booked, double featured, and double trained review show, Very Slay, where we go over each and every runway look on RuPaul's Drag Race Global All-Stars. And by golly, do we have a lot to go over for these looks, because we have two episodes here. One of them was the International Queen of Mystery Ball, based on James Bond, where we have a boss CEO look, an evil villain, and then had to create a Queen of Mystery spy look out of scratch in the workroom. And luckily, there weren't a whole heck of a lot of things I liked in this episode, so the review should go pretty fast. Then for episode 4's runway, Color My World, we had a multiple colored reveal-based runway with at least 2 different reveals. It's just so many looks to talk about. I want to cry. But here we go, another week, another episode. Hopefully next time we'll be back on track with just one look per queen and only one episode that we're covering in this batch. Now, I will say I am going to be covering the entire package for the ball and not every look individually, because I don't hate myself that much and I have a lot of stuff that has to get done this week. I've got a gig on Friday, I have to edit this video, the Philippines video that's in the same look, and the UK season 6 promo video all in one day. I'm so tired. We are getting ever so close to the 3,000 watch hours to get YouTube partner, just a couple hundred watch hours away. So please, please, please watch, like, comment, subscribe. It helps the algorithm out so much. You have no idea. It means the world to me every time I see a new one come in. So be sure to do all those things. And while you're at it, maybe even consider checking out the Patreon. I haven't done it the last couple weeks because I've been out of town, but normally we do post and have like a little episode discussion thread for folks who are over there that you can access for free. And if you decide to join a tier and support, which I would appreciate immensely, I'll put your name in the credits in every single little video as a supporter, and you'll get behind the scenes tea and access to everything coming down the pipeline for my content. And that includes about 4 other projects that are in early stages of development, and behind the scenes looks at illustrations and sneak peeks of Slay of the Season pieces and any Drag Race art that I decide to make along the way. And Dragula things, because we'll have some Dragula things coming soon too. But so anyways, let's dive into how the show works. If I think a look is successful, gets the job done, but doesn't blow me away, I give it an okay. If I think the look does, and it could just knock me off a cliff with how good it is, we give it a slay. And if I think it is worth sending back to MI6, or should be strapped to a table and laser beamed, we give it a nay. That's all in efforts to find my weekly slay of the day, my favorite look out of each and every episode, which will go head to head against our current reigning slay of the season, Gallivaro's Garden of Eden look from episode 1. It's going to be tough to knock that look out of the top spot. So let's find out today which of all of these looks could potentially do that. We're gonna switch scenes and we're gonna dive into these looks in alphabetical order. First up, we have Alyssa Edwards. Now, when we get into her ball here, all of these looks are so good. I think the look she made is definitely the weakest of the 3, but the hair is great. I think the strongest look out of everything though is her evil villain, because of it being such a direct callback to her winning dance challenge in season 5 when she was like the Black Swan, the evil Rue kind of character. The feather work is gorgeous. The hair is really cool. The little bird on the perch, I adore. It's a fun detail. I think when we go off of like initial runway impressions, her boss lady in charge CEO look with all these lights is really visually impressive. This look must have cost upwards of like $6,000 to $10,000, I would say, alone, if not more than that. Really cool look, really cool concept done at a high level of execution. Like, she came into this with money. It's a really successful overall package for me. I think the look that she made, yes, it's a corset base that she added to, but she knows where her strengths lie, and her strengths don't lie in costuming. So she kept it simple, she kept it sleek, she kept it glamorous, and she played with colors that all work really well together and are detailed right. So for me, I'm gonna give this overall package a slay. She was one of the only ones that I liked everything from. When we get into her Color My World looks, this sun, this one I'm not a fan of. Really, the only thing I like about this look is the last one. The final look is strong. The body's correct, the cinch is gorgeous, but it's really all about the hair and the makeup for me. This is so 80s pageant in the best way. It's gorgeous. The sculpt is right. The little bang is right. I think it's perfection from here up. But I think the outfits themselves are not the most impressive. I don't really like the blue dress for the second reveal with the moon just tacked onto it. Her first look, she looks like a toilet paper roll cover. And the third look, it's a corset with a star stuck between the tits. It's fine. I'll give it an okay. Next up, we have Athena Leakey's. Now, her Boss CEO look, gorgeous. I love the deconstructed quality of this. It kind of gives me Maison Margiela vibes. I think the silhouette's really cool. I like how drapey it is. I love the red corset piece that's on top of the blazer. My favorite part of the whole thing, though, is the sleeve treatment. I think it's just absolutely gorgeous. The embellishment work and the like little grommet details are so good. And I love the hair. That little swoop in the front and the bang really gets me together. Her evil villain look, this kind of aquatic creature diva, it's cute. I like the prosthetics for the ears. I think it's successful in that. I love that she's a browless girl across all three looks too. I think it's very gorgeous. And I think that the whole piece makes sense. And I think the look works. It has cool details to it. I like the trim around the shoulders. I like the scaling element of that. I love the long nails. They're ridiculous, but I love them. And even though I think there is some cool fabric treatment through the skirt, I wish it had been a little bit longer or it had been a different silhouette because it's a little bit of a blunt edge for me. And I think it just is too short. It would have worked better as a floor length gown. And then when we get into the look that she made in the workroom, I kind of do agree with Rue's critique that the outfit, because she doesn't pad, you have to kind of cheat the eye to feminize your silhouette. And like, I pad, but I don't pad very much, so I have to do the same thing. And she is so up and down that when you do a dress like this, it's also very up and down, that doesn't have like a feminizing cut through the side, it really just kind of doesn't deliver. Really cool deconstructed elements to it. I love the hair. I think it's very on brand for her. I love how edgy the whole look is, but for me overall, I think it was just kind of a fine package, but I don't think it was worth putting her in the bottom over. I think her being placed up for elimination and then ultimately eliminated this episode is a little unjustified. So I'm going to say this is just an okay package. She should have been safe. Then we have Eva La Queen. Her Boss Lady in Charge look for the ball is my favorite thing of the three. I think it's gorgeous. I think it's effective. I really love the fabric treatment around the shoulders and the hat. It really works well for me. She looks like she's going to the Kentucky Derby, which I think is quite fun. Her Evil Villain look, it's fine. I really don't care for it that much. I don't think it's all that impressive. Like, it's a well-cut, tailored, cinched blazer with a cool shoulder and a leather pant with this like kind of faux snake scaling treatment throughout the whole thing. It's adequate. Her look that she made, I love this hair color on her. I actually really like the style of the hair on her too. And as always, the makeup across all of these looks is gorgeous. I really like this color of the dress on her too. My only real gripe with it is that I wish that the breast cup had been a little bit taller. It makes her torso look really short and it truncates the rest of her body. It just kind of throws proportions off a bit for me, and it just looks like it doesn't fit properly. But it's okay. Not bad. When we get into her reveals runway, I appreciate the homage to Disney villains. I do. I promise I do. This Cruella hair is awful. I really hate it a lot. Makeup's great. I love the classic purple eye with a red lip, the very old school cartoon villain. It works. The dress for Cruella as well is boring. Like, it's just a basic silhouette. But I do really want to take a moment here to appreciate and give credit to the fact that her looks are all one thing. It's not her taking off a coat, throwing it off to the side, then taking off another thing and throwing it to the side. It's all built into one piece, so she leaves nothing behind on the runway, aside from like a couple headpiece changes into the wig reveal. But other than that, I'm not mad at it. I think it works, but it's not incredibly impressive. I'm gonna give this look an okay as well. Then we have Gallavaro. Her ball, I think the silhouette of the coat and the tie, this like windblown moment for her first look is really cool. I like it a lot. It's very comic booky. I think it's successful. Her second look I also think has a bit of a fun comic edge to it. Not necessarily one you could buy and a family-friendly comic store, probably in a back room, with this little bodysuit moment here. But I like the cut of the back, and I love like the idea of it for the villain, of how like the mouth's on the back and then her ass is just there. I think some of the color choices are a little off. I don't like the hair with it. And then the look that she made, I think had she gotten rid of the like orange shirt thing, it would have been more successful, because when she takes that off and like the coat piece and it's just like a little brown bodysuit dress, I think that reads more as a spy character than this whole look does. I think she was definitely worthy of being safe. A bit of a low safe, but she was safe. I'm gonna give her package an okay. Now when we get into her Color My World situation here, I loved that this was all Frida Kahlo references. I thought it was really successful in how she brought it all together. The dresses, especially the first two looks in this, I thought are absolutely gorgeous. The pink one in particular, I'm a big fan of, but other than that, and the hair being good, I wasn't like blown away by the whole thing, and I don't find it incredibly memorable. So I think the performance of it works. I think the references are there. There are just some like silhouette things where I think the waist is up a little bit too high and it kind of makes her look a bit boxy. But other than that, once again, not mad at it, but I am just gonna give this an okay as well. Next up we have Kitty Scott Claus, who in my opinion, hands down, should have been bottom 2 for this ball. This first outfit, the reference, cute, I get it. But the fabric choice of the pants being different than the blazer, but then the pants have like the blazer fabric as a pinstripe down the leg, that's a miss. Should have been a sequin pant to match the blazer with that kind of matte pinstripe. I think that would have looked a bit more successful overall. It looks like a not complete idea. Her second look, Barbarella vibes, I get it, but to me, it doesn't really give evil villain. It's a similar really boxy silhouette to a lot of things we've seen from her, where it's just a short dress with a bit of an exaggerated hip or a bit of pointed shoulder. It's the same cut as well as the dress that she made in terms of length. And the dress that she made is ugly. It is butt-ass ugly. I'm sorry, not a single thing about this third look is good or flattering at all. This is an A. And the fact she was not up for elimination, or at least in the bottom 3, is wild to me. I mean, heck, let's get into her looks from this Color My World runway. The hair is great here. I actually really like this hair and makeup combo on her, and I like the jewelry with it too. But the pink dress here is a very similar silhouette in terms of the hip structure to her evil villain look. And then she's got this yellow gown that isn't that flattering on her. And then she's got this kind of like mod blue dress that isn't super flattering on her in terms of the length of the skirt. The sleeves are cute, the cut of the neckline's cute, but then she comes out and ends in this like orange dress that is just plain. And also, her tights look like they're a completely different color in this reference photo. I don't know how she pulled that off, unless it's just a lighting trick, but her shoes are the same color as the other looks, but her tights aren't. So I'm a little confused. It's not my favorite. I don't think there's anything impressive about this, and I don't think any of these looks are particularly all that flattering on her. So I'm gonna give this an A as well. Next up we have Queen Kong, who I also think should have been in the bottom for the ball, or at least in the bottom 3. Her CEO look is the only look of these 3 that I like, even remotely. The hair's great, the glasses are great, the makeup is stamped, and I like the cut of the jacket here. After that, I don't like any of this. This She Will Villain look gives me a rejected concept look for the Garden of Eden idea. Like, it gives that theme down. But I don't understand how this is an evil villain character. It doesn't read as an evil villain character. She missed that theme entirely. Then when we get into the look that she made, the hair is cool, but the top treatment of the fabric on this is just not it. Not it at all. It doesn't look good to me. Like, for a queen that is so like curvy in her body shape and drag, she loses a lot of that here with this look. This for me is an A overall. And let's get into her reveals. The fur coat is fun. Nay. Everything else, I hate. So yeah, this is a nay too. Next up we have Miranda LeBrow, and I think her first look here in the ball should have been what kept her out of the bottom. Her second look I don't think totally read as an evil villain in the same way that I think other looks did as literally. She kind of gives me like 70s children's TV villain. It's just not really what they're looking for this theme. The look that she made, I think the eye things are cool on the fingers. I love the Daphne tribute in the color palette here, but I think had she done the neck piece a little differently and had this more open, she would have been fine, because this truncates her because she has no neck. But that first look is so good. The ruffles and the sleeves on this coat are really interesting. I love the makeup, I love the hat. Like everything about this first look, top to bottom, is phenomenal. For me, that alone should have kept her out of the bottom. Realistically, the bottom three should have been Kitty, Queen, and Soa. Sorry about it. But I would say overall, the package itself is just okay. When we get into her look for Color My World, I think the concept, the storytelling of being a boy forced into sports, and then having this moment of wanting to be girly with your little doll, and the idea of like the forced gender roles, and then finding happiness in being non-binary and being in between. I think that story is there, but you have to really explain it for it to make sense. I don't like the cut of the blue part at the beginning of this, like it's very clearly a reveal piece. I'm not a big fan of the second look either, and this third look is really matronly. Like overall, it's a miss. I'm gonna give this look an A. Then we have Nelenia. Now, her ball package is another one where I'm like not blown away by it. I hate the first look. Like absolutely hate it. It is one of my least favorite out of anybody for this first category. Second look, it's fine. The photo she posted of the look online where she has like this kind of red corset body suit piece underneath it that's all like leather belty and stuff. It looks way cooler than this presentation. I wish that's what she would have done on the runway. The look she made, it's very much evil fairy godmother from Shrek 2 with these little glasses, but it's cute. I don't mind the sculptural wig here, but she does this style of wig a lot, so much, and I'm not the biggest fan of it because it doesn't always suit her head shape. The outfit itself, I don't like the sheer trim on the coat because it's like kind of sheer on the runway. It doesn't look great, but I don't think this is awful as a package, so I'm gonna give it an okay. When we get into this underwater themed look that she did for Color My World, again, it's the sculptural hair where it's all up at the top and just straight down, maybe a little bit of wave in the back. The bubbles are the only thing I like about this hairstyle. The rest of it, I just don't like it, really any of this. The clownfish look is cute, but I don't like the look she starts with. I don't like the jellyfish, and I don't like the blue tang underneath it. It's just not, I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me. It's just not my style. I think that's the biggest thing. It's just not my personal aesthetic. Love the reference to Finding Nemo. Loved her verse in the challenge. The clownfish look is the only thing out of the set that I like. It's okay. Then we have Pythia for episode 3. I think this ball, hands down, was hers by a country mile. The first look, best look in the category, easily. Second look is strong, not my favorite, but it's a strong look. I like all the detailing. I like the hair, I like the mask, I like the aperture bit that comes around the arm and the back. I think that's cool. She looks very much like a Bond villain. And the look that she made is very much a similar style to like something I would wear. Not necessarily latex, but like the hairstyle, the makeup is very similar to makeup I would normally do. The whole thing is very up my alley, like down to the black little bang. I enjoy it a lot. It's definitely the best look out of anything that was made this episode, and I think by far it is one of the best looks we've seen come out of a design challenge in Drag Race. It's not easy fabric to work with, and she made it look so fucking sleek and so simple. It really gets the job done. This whole package absolutely 1,000 times over is a slay. For this Color My World moment, I love how clashy it is and how weird it is. The first look is so fucking weird, but I actually really love how surrealist it is. Incredibly kooky, and I love all the little legs throughout it. It's just silly and whimsical and club kid energies. The second look, the crocheted look with all these eyes, it's interesting, it's cute, and I also think it's successful. I love the color palette in the sleeves. And this third look that's all PC and very Frankenstein-y, it's okay. Like, I like the ragdoll nature of it. I love like the little tufts of fluff coming out all around it. But I think it is the weakest of the three looks. And I would hope that the look that you have at the end of the whole presentation is the strongest one, because I'm a big firm believer of the last look in a set of reveals should be the strongest one of the three. And I think for me, Pythia's got worse as the reveals happened. I think she started off with the best look right out the gate. But I think it is a strong concept and it's done well either way. I'm gonna give it a slay. Next up, we have Soa Demuse. For her ball, I like the idea of her CEO look. I like the outfit for the CEO look, but that is it. I don't like anything else in her package at all. The evil villain look, it's not totally there for me. The outfit just didn't come together in the right way. The details aren't all correct. I don't like that the hair and the green kind of clash, or I don't like that the hair color and the green of the outfit and the green tones in the makeup all kind of clash. The look that she made is ho-hum. It's not anything incredible. I think it is one of the weaker ones of the ones that were made. It's definitely better than Kitty's though. So for me, this overall ball package is an A. Soa's package here kind of gives me the same issue that Pythia's does, because I think the look starts off strong. It gets stronger in the second look, but then the third look is the weakest of the three. I do appreciate though that she also went with this like celestial theme for her looks, the same way that Alyssa did, but Soa's is done better, predominantly because that second look is so good. The biblically accurate angel moment. Headpiece for the first look is cool, but it really is that second look that is the shining star out of everything. I love the purple makeup. I love the kind of galaxy vibes of the third look and the rainbow hair. If I had to give the whole package individually ranked things, they wouldn't all be this, but I actually really enjoyed this presentation a lot and the theme a lot. So I'm gonna give this one a slay. Next up, we have Tessa Testicle. For her ball package, I do appreciate that her first two looks do look like they could be in the same collection. Had she done the third look in red, I think it would have worked better. And I also don't like the fact that she took an existing corset and skirt as a base garment and then just basically made a shell for it out of the pink fabric. And when she turns on the runway, you see the fabric fully separate. Like, a huge gap that's about this tall just puffs out, and you can see all the black of the underskirt. No, absolutely not. The first look, cool presentation theme on the runway. I like the cut of the blazer a lot. The blazer's the coolest part of it. The second look, the hat's the coolest part of that look. I wish she hadn't taken all of that off to reveal the dress underneath. The dress underneath is fine, but I think it is a little too similar in terms of like a predominantly black outfit with red piping. The first outfit also has, that I think like it does kind of read a bit too samey. Like they could be like lesbian lovers, those two looks, those characters. And then they've got this like Barbie spy character off to the side that just doesn't work for me. I'm gonna give her overall package an okay. Now when we get into her clowny little color my world moment, this to me is very successful. I love the tiered structure and the pink look. I love how there's like some different tones of pink there because of the different fabric textiles. I love the blue underneath it as well. And I love the reveal of the gown with the little rough collar and the gloves. Truly the best part of these three looks is the look she finishes in. This orange little kind of latexy moment. It's cute, it's sexy, it's very her brand and her drag. And I like the makeup a lot. I like the hair choice. This little sculptural finger wave I think works for this. This is a slay. And finally we have Vanity Vane. We get into her ball package. The first look is fine, doesn't blow me away. It's very cock destroyer energy, which is kind of fun. The second look, I don't like the headpiece with it. The makeup is interesting, I guess, but it's a bodysuit. Like it's a leotard with some glove gauntlet things and some long fingies. Basically the same shoe as the first look. It's not that dissimilar. I do appreciate that her look has this like black through line between everything. They all look visually consistent, like they all look like they could come from the same universe, which I appreciate. Her third look, very old Hollywood, very like Zsa Zsa Gabor. The ruche dress, stunning. That's the best look that I've seen from her. I would say though overall, as much as I love that third look, as much as I think that third look is one of the better ones for the category, I think her overall package is just kind of ho-hum, so I'm gonna give it an okay. And then her Color My World runway. I appreciate that she was doing all of these different flags. However, I think Homegirl's doing a little bit too much here, and I'm not gonna go over every single one of these looks. I think the pansexual one is probably the cutest in terms of silhouette. It's the most fun with this hairstyle. Other than that, they're all outfits where it's like you kind of see your reveal coming outside of like the non-binary flag one. I think because she had so much that she had to fit into a runway presentation, she wasn't able to really showcase all of the looks in their full glory, which to her benefit kind of works because most of these looks aren't that impressive. I'm gonna give this an okay. Now, when we get into picking my slay of the day for each of these, I will have to say, for episode 3, my slay of the day is going to go to the look that Pythia made in the workroom. I think all 3 of her looks were really strong. I think if I'm going over like individual categories, she would take the first one, Alyssa takes the second for me, and Pythia takes the third, but her third look is my favorite look out of that entire episode. But then we get into the episode 4 looks. I actually think I'm going to give my slay of the day to Soa Demuse for that angel headpiece that's like the middle of her look. I think it's really, really cool. If I had to give it to an overall package, I would give it to Tessa, but that second look from Soa was my favorite thing out of the entire episode. There wasn't a lot of strong stuff there in all honesty, but that's what took the cake for me. When I put those 2 looks up against our current slay of the season, which is Galavaro's Garden of Eden look, unfortunately neither of them are going to knock her out of that top spot. So Gala remains our slay of the season over another 2 episodes. Anywho, that's going to be it for me for today. Be sure to go out there, like, comment, subscribe, all those lovely little things, and be sure to go out there and make sure that your day is very slay.